Good afternoon. It is Thursday, October 14th. This is the New Ulm Public Library Board meeting. Let's get it rolling here with the approval of our agenda. We have our agenda in front of us and we have a quorum. Do I have a motion to approve our agenda?
So move.
Full second.
All in favor of approving our agenda for today, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Next, let's go on to our minutes. Hopefully you've had a chance to look at our minutes from our last board meeting. I'm going to make a motion myself that we approve the minutes. Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor of approving our minutes?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried, and let's move on to our financial report with Paulina.
Okay, we are 75.07% through 2022, and our budget is approximately 69.63% expended. One thing to note is that our cataloging and processing is at 100%. All of our Traverse de Sioux member costs have been paid for the year. Otherwise, we're looking good. Does anyone have any questions on the financial report?
What would you attribute the 6% differential between where we are in the budget year and our expenditures?
Well, thankfully, actually, we are below where we are normally on contractual maintenance building. We're at about 37.88%, which I know historically we kind of have run over in that area. We, for the most part, figured out our roof leaks on the upper level. So I think that has been kind of handy. So we haven't had a lot of repairs like we have in the past on the roofs.
Any leakages in the most current rains?
No. Sorry, I knocked on wood there.
Good sign.
Good thing you're sitting where you are.
I know. No, it was caulked different areas, and that's been holding up really well. And that roof is slated for replacement early next year. So hopefully it'll tide us over through the winter.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions on the financial report for Paulina? Okay, do you want to move on to the librarian's report?
Oh, sure. So September was National Library Card Sign-Up Month, and the board approved staff to waive our dollar replacement card. I believe we had about 25 patrons who took advantage of that special fee waiver. Otherwise, our Friends of the Library met. I might have mentioned it last time. Our Friends president, Chris Troutloff, resigned from her position, and the Friends thanked her for her 6-year service as president. So the group is currently working on recruiting new members. So if you know of anyone, I know someone was contacted maybe. So if you'd like to join the Friends group, please do. And that goes out to everyone listening as well. Otherwise, everything looks pretty good. We have, what else was I going to mention? Our senior outreach is going well. Our assistant library director and reference librarian have been conducting outreach at Ridgeway on 23rd, Ridgeway on German, Oak Hills, and Orchard Hills. So they did visits in October, and that will continue on this, I believe, on the first and third Wednesdays of the month. And that's it. Any questions?
I'm just curious about the materials that the Oak Hills and Orchard Hills people check out. Do they check out audiobooks?
We occasionally take some if they request it, but for the most part, we are taking large print books. Yeah, so I think that's where the interests lie primarily. But we've talked about e-resources, so signing up for Libby through Overdrive and just plain audiobooks. I know there's some individuals who just can't see any longer, so the coordinators are working with them to set them up with CD players in their rooms too. So, and it kind of depends on each a facility to, there's different interest in each one. So that's been really interesting.
Thanks. Any other questions for Paulina on the librarian's report? All right, do you want to move into programming?
Sure. So enclosed, I have both children's programming and adult programming calendars of programs we have upcoming. That's just more informational. But if anyone has any questions, please let me know.
I just want to mention that again before I mention that, like bring more diverse books, things like that for kids. And the Cultural Engagement Center at MLC, we did one session. We did a day of children's books.
Oh, nice.
For the MLC Early Childhood Learning Center. It went really well because last September 15 to October 15 was Hispanic Heritage Month. Yes, we had our students read. They read their children's books from their childhood in Spanish and translated in English and read that to the kids. So just something that if you want us involved in the future, we can certainly work together.
Oh, sure.
On
Okay.
behalf of MLC, and we can do a session just in our local library, I guess.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Cool.
That'd be fun.
The kids were really engaged. They really enjoyed
Okay.
it.
Well, that's fun.
We did 6 sessions actually.
Okay. Yeah. In September, right? Hispanic month, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
And Heritage
potentially there's a Native American month in November,
yeah.
right? Yeah, and future some holidays, things like that. We could possibly do something.
Okay. Okay. Then moving on to staff updates. We have a new library aide, Pamela Bundy, starting this Friday at 9 o'clock. So we're excited to have her on board. And then in terms of the library director position, I talked with the human resources director, and more than likely it will be posted internally the last week in October. And then she did inquire if there's anyone on the library board who would like to be on the interview panel to ask, or if we have any volunteers from anyone here.
When again is your last day?
It's October 30th, Saturday, October 30th.
Yeah. Well, I think on behalf of the library board, can we commend you and thank you for your service? And we've
Thank you. Yeah.
very much enjoyed working with you. Very much enjoyed learning from you, and wish you best. Wish you the best.
Thank you so much. It's been a thank you to the board and the community. It's been a great time. Thank you.
Good. All right. Anything else along those lines? Okay, let's move on to our action items then. We have resolution number 2021-25, second reading and adoption. And it goes like this: approving 2022 library fees and fine schedule. The City of New Ulm annually revises its schedule of fees. As part of this, the library is required to update its fees and fines schedule. The library director proposes the attached schedule for 2022 fees and fines. $2 flat charge for 3D printing with a $1 per hour charge for prints taking more than 1 hour. $5 a day overdue fine on Library of Things. Changes proposed by library board members will be incorporated after today's second reading and adoption. The schedule will be submitted to the Finance Department for final approval by the City Council. Do I have a motion on this resolution?
Also move.
I'll second.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion about this before we vote? Okay. Go ahead, April.
Tara Berger,
Yes.
Margaret Blomberg,
Yes.
Carolyn Kelberg,
Yes.
Justin Sauter,
Yes.
Bernice Schmidt,
Yes.
Ting Ting Schwartz,
Yes.
Carl Zeidler.
Yes.
Thank you. That motion is passed. And let's move on to our next resolution. Number 2021-27, first reading, approving updates to Wi-Fi hotspot policy. And this one is where we see drama in the library. The library has 3 Wi-Fi hotspots that are available for checkout to patrons. In May 2021, the library board changed wording to allow the same family/household to be able to recheck out the available device on their library card if no reservations existed and a hotspot was available for checkout. A few weeks ago, one of the library's hotspots accrued international roaming charges while checked out to a patron. Previously, the library was not able to turn off the roaming, per the Verizon account representative. In September 2021, the city's IT director negotiated with Verizon on the library's behalf, and Verizon agreed to turn off international roaming for the library's hotspots. The library director requests that the library board add the following language to the Wi-Fi hotspot policy in case a situation arises in the future where the international roaming were to be turned on. The city attorney has reviewed this language and has no concerns. The language goes as such. You can only use the hotspot inside the continental United States. There is no international data or roaming. A patron will be responsible for any charges accrued outside the continental United States. So, do we have a motion for this resolution?
Oh, it's a first reading.
Oh, it's a first reading, never mind. So can I ask though, like, what did that add up to?
It was a little bit over 1,000. And normally we pay about, what is it, April, 100 and something for 3 hotspots. Yeah, 135.
For all 3?
For all 3,
Per
yeah.
each.
Yeah, per
Right.
month, yeah.
Okay.
And this was, it was a little bit difficult to track down when it actually occurred. We weren't able to see it on our end. The IT director was finally able to finagle that information out. It took a little bit. So it was an instance of the same day, and it happened just 2 times. Like the connection was twice. So we don't know if it was actually in Canada or whether or not it was just along the border somewhere and just hit a tower potentially. We're not sure what happened. I talked with the city attorney and how our current policy is phrased. Obviously we can't ask the patron how it's written currently to cover those costs. So, yeah. But we do have, just as a plug, we do have about 40 TDS long-term hotspots that are available through Traverse du Sioux, and we got those in, so those are available for checkout for up to 3 months if anyone is interested in those as well. That was through, Carl, remind me, it was on American Rescue Plan.
Yeah.
A grant that the executive director of Traverse du Sioux applied for. So we got 40, and there's more throughout the region. So, but we still have traffic on ours too for the week, just kind of based on what patrons are interested in doing. Yep.
Is there some priority to be given in checking those out to students?
We no, there's not. It's pretty much a first come, first served, and that's what the IT coordinator at TDS also mentioned. The school district, I did speak with the superintendent at one point, maybe several months ago, and they do have hotspots at the district for student checkouts, or they did during COVID. I think that's still available to students as well. But we still have quite a few there, so they are available. They're not all checked out.
Will a hotspot support more than one device?
Yes. I don't know if I would. It might slow down depending on how many devices you have connected. But for the most part, I know someone who I think had 4 kids in a household during COVID. So I think, or 5, and then both parents were working from home, and I think 2 hotspots helped them a little bit more just based on the traffic they were seeing. But they were older too, the kids. So it just really depends.
What's the concept of continental United States? Would Hawaii or Puerto Rico included? Or-
No,
Okay,
yeah.
that's-
So
just really is mainland.
yeah, mainly, yeah.
So with this statement, do we have the ability then, when people turn it in, to check to see if how are we going to be able to identify if they did international?
At the moment, because it's turned off, it won't happen. But just in case,
Again.
hopefully it won't happen again, yeah. Unless Verizon does something and turns it back on for us, yeah. But this will cover our bases just in that case. I believe there, on the hotspot that we had, there was a message, it said something about global access or something on the hotspot. And it might have sort of turned it off, we're not exactly sure, but it stopped working after that. It probably, maybe because we didn't pay the bill yet.
It's crazy.
Is there any
They
backs,
use for $1,000.
Right, and it was just 2 logins, it's something, yeah.
is there any backstop in the event that their turnoff fails and the person that has the hotspot checked out is able to connect?
It shouldn't be if they're using it in the continental US, hopefully. Yeah. Hopefully they won't take it and try it somewhere else.
The only issue you would probably have is in northern Minnesota.
Yeah, in northern Minnesota, yeah. Hmm.
Sketchy, I would assume.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with that.
That's all we can say.
We didn't think it'd happen.
Any other comments or questions? All right, we just have left other business on our agenda.
And that's
which is,
just, a reminder that the November meeting will be held on November 18th due to the holiday on the 11th. So the city offices in the library will be closed the week prior.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right, then I think we can call this meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's a quick.
I know.